Good afternoon, family. Thanks for checking out today's video. If you are new here, my name is Jonathan, and I created this channel as a way to record my progress as I work towards my goal of losing 300 pounds in 3 years. If you'd like to join the family, hit that subscribe button down below. Also, make sure you click on the bell icon so you get alerted when I go live or post new videos. If you'd like to participate in on the discussion, like our Tiny Acres, Pretty Girl's Mom, Rick, and Christy here, you can join me live most weekdays. 4 p.m. Central is kind of my set time right now. A little bit late today, but still made it. So you can join me on my live streams here on YouTube, or outside of my live stream, you can consider joining the Discord I created. It's a great place for you guys to get on and ask questions, share what you guys are doing as well. If there's any videos you've seen recently that you want to let people know about, it's a great place to share those things as well. Also, down in the description below, there is a link for a Pinterest board. The reason why we created this Pinterest board is because we get asked a lot of times, what food are we eating to lose weight? What are you doing? And for us, the easiest thing to do was create this Pinterest board. We pinned a bunch of recipes that we really enjoy on that board. So if you're looking for some ideas, that is, my mic is junk, huh? Let me see. Let me fix it because it was. Let me mute it to try to fix it. No, it's still doing it. Still doing it, right? Still staticky. Let me know. How about that? It looks like it might be better now. I got a couple yeses here. I think that's from last time. It's good. Thank you guys. Yeah, I kind of noticed an odd thing when I first started up. So thanks for letting me know. And it's better. Great. Where was I at? I was talking about the Pinterest board. Check that out if you're trying to get some ideas for some good recipes. Today is day 701 of my 3-year challenge to lose 300 pounds. I've used a combination of extended water fasting and a whole food, plant-based, salt, oil, sugar-free diet to lose over 215 pounds so far. I have about 85 pounds left to lose. I'm looking forward to reaching my goal over the next 13 months and living the rest of my life at a healthy weight. If anybody has any non-scale victories they'd like to share, I'd love to hear your non-scale victories. If you have any on-scale victories, I love hearing about those as well. If you're succeeding with your diet, let us know how you're doing. If you're struggling to get started or struggling to stay on track, what's causing your problems? What's keeping you from getting on track or staying on track? And for me, I think a huge part of any of these diets to succeed is, what are you going to do that's going to make staying on your diet easier than the alternative? I think it's very important that we have something to eat or something to go to when we face these temptations. We need to have things in place to help, protect you from these temptations, because they're all around us. We're surrounded by, just move that a little bit. We're surrounded by temptations every day. Fading in and out. Is that my audio? Is it nothing? Okay. Nothing. All right, let's switch over to the main screen here. I don't know why I'd be having more audio issues. I'll try one more thing. I'll try resetting it again. Okay. Can you turn it up a little bit? I don't know if I can because it's already pretty red line, or it's getting pretty close to the maximum audio on here. So, if I wonder if I can, do I have the, yeah, okay. It doesn't sound too bad here. Okay. Thanks, guys. Where was I? I was talking about that, non-scale victories, switched over. I hope everybody had a great night. It was a great day for us. Real chilly today. Of course, it's getting to be that season like I talked about yesterday. I was really hoping it would warm up today, but it really never did. And then I let one of my coworkers borrow my sweatshirt today, and they took it home with them. So I am going to have to scold that employee of mine when I see her later today. So now I got to go home. I don't have a long sleeve shirt. I think I have something in my truck, but I came to work prepared by wearing warm clothes. She did not. And now I'm the one without warm clothes. How does that work? Anyways, since yesterday, I'm going to see if I took any food photos. I've been very busy the last day here, and I did take some food photos. All right, so let's pull up that. Let me make sure that it doesn't matter anymore. Oh, wait. Okay. The heck? No. I want to do this. All right. So for dinner last night, what'd you guys have for dinner last night? I had one of my newest favorite meals that we had. Can anybody guess what my new favorite meal is? Huh? Any guesses? Let's see. Well, it's not. Maybe the potatoes with the vegetables that I made all weekend. That might be a favorite meal. But I know how to make that. I know how to make this too. So, all right, let's figure it out here. Polenta with white beans, mushrooms, spinach, a little bit of tomato, and it's definitely one of my favorite meals that we have. I think that the polenta's got a great flavor to it. It does have a little bit of that nutritional yeast in it to give it a little bit of that flavor that nutritional yeast gives food. I wouldn't say it's necessarily a cheese flavor, but maybe cheese-like flavoring. Yeah. I love this meal. It's really awesome. The only thing that would make this meal better is if we doubled the recipe so I could eat more of it. This was one of two plates that I had of the food, and it's really just a great meal. I like it a lot. And then last night, I don't know if I really snacked a whole lot last night. I went and played video games last night. That's what I did. I went and played a video game at a buddy of mine's house. So I was not at home a whole lot last night to be tempted by food. So that worked out real nice for me. Then this morning for breakfast here, I had oatmeal. I'm about halfway through my bowl of oatmeal here, and I was like, oh, I forgot to take a photo. So I snapped a photo real quick. Just our standard savory oatmeal is what we'll call it. It is mushrooms and spinach and onions with a mix of oats, oat groats, and steel cut oats. I always satisfied having oatmeal. I don't know that I would have imagined that going in, but I'm pretty sure that is all of the food photos I took. I guess this is not today's food photo, but this is pretty much what I had for lunch. I had 4 potatoes with a half bag of steamed broccoli for lunch. So this was yesterday's lunch, but it looked very similar to today. You can see I don't know what exactly it is about these potatoes. There's no liquids added to this. This is just potato and steamed broccoli. And it is amazing how soft these potatoes got. I mean, it's this bag of potatoes that we're going through right now. It just feels like they're handheld mashed potato balls with a little bit of potato skin around them. So very satisfying, really good, and I kind of mentioned it, but I'm really surprised at how not sick of some of these foods I am. I thought I would be so sick of eating some of these foods after this amount of time. I'm 700 days in, and I have probably had oatmeal for breakfast 500 plus of the 700 days that I've been on this diet, which is just crazy. And I'm still looking forward to it. And the nice thing about oatmeal is you can kind of change it up a little bit too. It's not, because when we first started, I was eating a very sweet oatmeal with apples and bananas, and we were using apple juice to sweeten it. And then a few months back now, 6 months back now, we switched over to eating mostly a more savory oatmeal breakfast. And I enjoy it every morning just as much as I did the previous morning. And when we do switch it up, I do get excited about switching it up. I do really like switching it up. And one of the biggest things I'm doing now differently with the sweet oatmeal that we used to have when I ate it, when I first started this diet, we would put almond butter in the oatmeal. And now I don't put any almond butter or any nut butters in the sweet oatmeal. And I like it just as much. I like it a lot, just as much, I suppose would be a relative, but I do enjoy it a lot. Let me see. I missed a few comments here. Our Tiny Acres, when you're dealing with food, the temptations, the saying, "That's not my food, it's toys," usually helps you not grab junk food. Yeah. That Atomic Habits book doesn't talk about this specifically, but your comment made me think about the Atomic Habits book and how mentally mindset can make a huge difference on things. And just by vocally saying something like, "That's not food, that's a toy." Like, that's not food. That's like, I do a little bit the same with diet soda. Like, I will not drink diet soda anymore. I have no interest in drinking diet soda. It's frustrating to me to think back at how much diet soda I have consumed in my life. And I used to make a joke of it, like, because my wife or my family would always be like, "Oh, you need to drink more water." And I'd be like, "Oh, and the water is the number one ingredient in diet soda." I got something in my mouth. That was really beautiful. You guys are all welcome for that. So I used to joke about diet soda. I used to be like, "Diet soda, it's 0 calories. It's like drinking nothing. It's not harming you at all." And now 701 days in, I'm sitting here going, "God, I can't believe I ever drank that crap." And when I think about diet soda now, what I kind of do in my head is think, that's not food, that's sweetened plastic. Like, for that to be 0 calories and be sweet, they have to put something in the food to make it sweet. But then that food can't be digestible by your body, or else it would have calories. So, like I said, if I didn't want to digest what I was eating, I would eat plastic, because my body can't digest plastic, and your body can't digest diet soda. It's not, if it could do something with that sweetness or that sweetener, then it would be different. But they just put that sweetener in there for your tongue. Like, the sweetener doesn't do anything for you past your tongue. And they and that's all they need. That's all the soda industries need, is for your tongue to be happy. And it doesn't matter what happens to the rest of your body, because your tongue makes the decisions in a lot of ways of what you eat, not your body. If your body made the decision about what you ate as much as your taste preference did, then we would all be eating very healthy food, because our body would be screaming for healthy food. But we use our taste sensors to find out what foods are the best for us. And the food industry has hijacked that process in our bodies by just focusing on the tongue and not anything beyond it. So I like that. That's not my food, it's toys. It's not my food. It's not something that it's for me, like I'm not going to play with a toy today. So I like that a lot. Better good. Sounds good. Try it, not cooked. You're talking about the oatmeal. We've had the dry oats. I don't know if I talked about it. Maybe I thought I did. We tried it. Let me see if I took a photo of it. I'm going to find a photo that I did. So you guys, a few weeks back, we're talking about the dried oats, eating the oats raw without cooking them. And so we decided to give it a shot. And I just did something really simple with it. And I'm trying to see if I can find the photo of what I made. But I had just taken the rolled oats, put them in a bowl, put a very little amount of West soy milk in there. And then I ended up just putting banana in it and maybe some pineapple. Seems a little bit of a weird combo, but it's what I seem to be remembering. And I really liked it. It was very good. It was a great snack. Carrie enjoyed it more than I did, probably, because that is definitely more her speed. Like I could tell when I was eating that she would definitely enjoy it. But I am not finding that photo I took of the meal I made. But yeah, it was super simple. I expected it to be a little crunchier than it was, and which was fine. It didn't. It was good. It reminded me a lot when we were on our trip in July for work. There was a food vendor that was selling acai bowls, and it reminded me of that, maybe because they might have put dry oats on those acai bowls, but that was really good. Yeah, like putting it with like a frozen banana sounds like it would be really good. Not like a not frozen banana. What do they call that? Nice cream, right? Is that like ice cream made from bananas? And so, yeah, I really did enjoy it. I don't know if I would enjoy oat groats or steel cut oats raw, but I did enjoy the rolled oats raw. It was a good snack to have. And it was fairly filling too, from what I remember. Like I didn't have to eat a lot of it to feel satisfied, as well. Rick says Japanese sweet potatoes tonight, yellow potatoes for lunch. Potatoes. Yes, you can eat potatoes forever. Yeah, it's there was a interview. I didn't watch the whole interview. I just saw like maybe even just the beginning of it that the McDougalls had done with a lady that she was like 78 years old. And they were talking about her diet, and she talked about eating a plant-based diet, and she talked about how much she ate potatoes and how, at 78 years old, she goes to the grocery store, and the lady at the grocery store, comments about how much that they buy in potatoes. But, it's really, I'm seeing lots of examples out there where people are doing these potato diets, or they're eating a lot of potatoes and they are succeeding with weight loss. And so I think that's really awesome. And it's encouraging, and I feel like my starch intake, specifically potatoes, has increased a lot over the past month, since I've started this reset of my diet. And, um, and so, yeah, I'm really liking potatoes, and there's, like you said, there's so many varieties. You got, the sweet regular potatoes, golden potatoes, sweet potatoes, Japanese sweet potatoes. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. How many different things you can get. Carrie's here. Hey, Carrie. I hope you were nice and warm on your way home today. I'm going to be a little chilly, I noticed. And Carrie says, we're having potato soup tonight. Yes, potato soup. Have we had this potato soup? Was it the potato soup that we've had a couple times in the last month, or is it different? Rick says that he eats a half a cup of raw oats with a banana and a few raisins. Yes, I really liked it with the pineapple, and just the bananas themselves. Really, I liked as well. So it is very good. All right. Let me see. Yes. Carrie says she was so cold today. Yes. And we are having the Well Your World 10-minute potato soup. So that sounds delicious. And it's something that we have had a couple times. I feel like I've really enjoyed it. So that'll be a good dinner for tonight. I don't think I'm going to go very long today. I did an hour live stream yesterday, and I got weigh-in Wednesday. Rick says it was 84 degrees in Florida today. Brr. Yeah. I don't even know. It was 50 when I got up this morning. And so that's why I threw a sweatshirt on, and then I got to work, and everybody's like, oh, it's going to be so warm today. You're crazy for wearing a sweatshirt. And then right now it is 77. So it's a little bit better now. But it was chilly in our building all day today. But yeah, I really want to go on a rant about nutritional labels, but I think I'm going to wait till tomorrow. I've talked about it a few times in the past about how the industries that are selling us this food are not doing us any favors, and they really don't have our best interest in mind. All they care about is our wallets, and that's about it. For many of these large corporations, it's all profit driven, and it has very little to do with the consumer, which is sad and unfortunate and very harmful for us as the consumer, that we don't have anybody really advocating for us. Like they talk about the Food and Drug Administration, or they talk about different government agencies, but I think that over the years, it's kind of been seen that they don't really have anything to, they can't stop these companies from making a lot of these foods, because a lot of these companies can just turn around and say, well, we're making what the people want. We're just giving them what they want. If they didn't want it, they wouldn't buy it, and you can't keep people from buying what they want to buy. You can't regulate what they eat, like that would be undemocratic. That would be, and so they use that excuse that we'll just give the people the option to choose for themselves. And I'm not saying having the option to choose for yourself I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I think that we all should have the ability to choose for ourselves. But what we're not seeing is that we or I guess prior to this, I kind of felt like the Food and Drug Administration was the one taking care of us. They were the ones protecting us from people selling food that would kill us. And they do. They do stop people from selling you food that will kill you in the short term. But they don't stop these companies from selling you food that's going to kill you in the long run. They get by with this. It takes 30 years to kill somebody because they ate this way. Well, when half the population eats that way for 30 years and then they all come sick, whose fault is it then? Is it the company's fault? Is it the consumer's fault? Is it the government's fault? But I think that we have to take so much of this power back ourselves, because the companies are not going to change. They're not going to start and say, you know what? We don't care if our competitor steals our market share. We just want to make healthy food for our customers that want to be healthy. None of those companies are saying that. The second they see their market share drop, they scramble. And it's just frustrating because they taught us in school the little bitty tricks that they do. Oh, hey, they put all the kids' cereal at eye level for the kids so that the kids will grab it, and they make them bright colors, and they use these specific colors because they know that those colors will draw certain emotions or get certain responses from people. And they talk to you about these things, and they present it as if it's good businessmen doing good business. These marketers are doing what they're supposed to do. That's why they went to college. That's why they got this education, so they could learn how to market to people. But when marketing becomes, what's the word? It's when the marketing becomes malicious, then there's a problem. Like I could see, hey, we should package this health food so that kids are drawn to this health food. Then sure, let's package apples a certain way. Let's package oranges and bananas a certain way. But instead they say, hey, we're going to take this brown food that is bland looking that nobody would pick up. If you had a pile of apples and oranges and bananas and mangoes, and next to it was a pile of dry cereal and just the unpackaged foods, the granola bars not in the packaging, the all this processed food that's brown. Everything's brown. But because it's brown, they throw it in a colorful package. So then you see a bright, colorful package. So if you have all this fruit in front of you with all this processed foods and it's not packaged, your eyes are going to go towards the apples and the bananas and the oranges and the bright colored foods, because that's how we evolved, is to look at those bright colored foods and say, that is the nutritious stuff. That's the stuff to eat. This brown food, this brown processed foods, like I said, the cereals, they aren't appealing on their own. So these businesses put them in these fancy boxes. They color them the shade of red that apples are, so people think of apples. They color them the shades of maybe one ingredient that's inside of it, or they try to push that one ingredient. It's like Apple Jacks. Like what kind of apple content is there in a bowl of Apple Jacks? And again, these are all just marketing things that good businessmen doing good business. That's what it is. That's just, hey, it's unfair to restrict what these businesses can do to advertise towards you, but we don't have that same mentality with other things. We don't have that same mentality with alcohol. We don't have that same mentality with cigarettes. We don't have even that same mentality with coffee. Coffee is definitely becoming more popular and people are drinking it a lot more. But these companies, they're doing so many things to get you to buy their products. And it's so hard to realize that you're such part of that machine. Like even that Diet Pepsi comment I made about me saying, hey, like the number one ingredient is water. Like that Diet Pepsi wants that nutritional label to be written that way so that carbonated water is the number one thing on the list, because then people look at that and say water. Oh, okay. It's got water in it, but they use all kinds of tricks with the nutritional labels that I've gone over in the past, but I've kind of seen some things the last few days. I just kind of was thinking that I would go over the nutritional label stuff, but I think I'm going to wait till tomorrow with the nutritional label stuff. Today, just kind of talking about some of the marketing stuff they do, the facts up front on the products where they put little things on there like packed with vitamin D, or but they put packed with vitamin D on the front, but when you flip it over and you look at the back, you realize that it's packed with vitamin sugar when they actually, what the actual food is. But they want you to see those things, and they can get away with putting lots of things on the front. Another marketing thing is the name of the company, the name of the food, Apple Jacks. People think of apples. They think it's healthy. It's Apple Jacks. Apple Jacks has no obligation to put apples in their food just because the name of their company is Apple Jacks. The same with a lot of, and that's, these companies name their products or name their companies words that sound healthy or words that sound wholesome, like Pepperidge Farms. Like you think of the word farms, you think of the red barn with the white trim, and there's a fence around it, and there's a couple horses and a cow over here with a little calf and a couple pigs here and some chickens. When you hear the word farm, that's what you think. These companies that have the word farm in their name, those animals are as far from a farm as what they could possibly be. They are living in boxes. They're living in jail cells. They're living inside of just ridiculous conditions. But because we saw the Charlotte's Web growing up, then every farm is like the Charlotte's Web farm. And that's not the case. None of the farms are like the Charlotte's Web farm. The only farms that are like what you think of as a farm now are hobby farms. Like they're not farms that are producing food for population. The idea that that the dad gets up or the kids get up at 5 a.m. and they go and they milk the cow and they feed the chickens and they make sure the pigs are all, got all their food. That's not what farming is anymore. Farming has been, they focus on a micro aspect, so the people that are doing dairy farming have nothing to do with the beef industry, except for when their dairy cows quit producing beef, then they send them to the beef industry, but they're not a good type of beef, and it's, yeah. And these companies, they can just name their company farm, like you could sell nothing that is ever raised on a farm, built on a farm, and name your company farm, and nobody can stop you, and so, so Carrie made a comment, something that we've noticed. So living in Iowa in the United States, we live in one of the largest pork producing states in the country, if not the largest pork producing state in the country. And then Missouri, where Carrie's from, also produces a lot of pork. And so on a 5-hour trip from Missouri up to Iowa, she saw no pigs. Even though both those states sell more pigs per capita than people, there was no pigs to be seen. Where are all the pigs at? That should be the title of a video. Where are all the pigs at? They're inside of buildings, not seeing sunlight. The only time the pigs see the sunlight is when they're in the semi-trailer being shipped from the factory to the slaughterhouse. And that's crazy. But again, it's all marketing. It's all to get you to buy their products. It has nothing to do with the quality of the food that's in the product. It's all a marketing ploy that they use to get you to buy their junk food. And so, we said earlier, you have to change your mentality towards the food. Like our Tiny Acre says, you got to look at that junk food and say, that's not food. That is a decoration. That's a Christmas tree ornament. That's not something you eat. That is, but it's so hard to get away from it. I mean, I still see things and still get tempted by things. But I feel so good about where I'm at that it's easy to avoid those temptations. I could see, and these companies know that everybody is just one bad moment away from breaking their good diet and eating this junk food too. We've been conditioned to use food for so many different therapeutic things that was never meant to be therapeutic. It wasn't supposed to make you feel happy. It wasn't supposed to make you not depressed. That's bigger. That's probably a bigger reason why people eat, is maybe less than making them happy, but more of not making them depressed. So, but I might try to go over some of the nutritional label stuff tomorrow, because I had done a lot of looking into some different things in the past. And I really think it's important that we realize how they use what we thought was a tool to help us in those nutritional labels. And they actually use those nutritional labels to harm us, to trick us, to misrepresent what's in those boxes is a lot of what they do too. So, but with that, I am going to get out of here today. I want to thank you guys for checking out my video today, following me, supporting me on this whole process. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. It's weigh-in Wednesday. I weighed in last week at 303.2. I think I lost 1.6. So I'm hoping to lose some weight for tomorrow and see if I can't get down to that 220 before too long. So anyways, thanks guys. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can join the family. Hit the bell icon so you get alerted when I go live and post new videos. Hit that thumbs up on this video. Let people know that it is worth taking the time to check out. And if you have not started your diet yet, get started right now. Don't wait. There's nothing coming up. What do you got going on that's so important that it's more important than your health and your overall well-being? I mean, it's crazy how easy it is for us to push it off to the future version of ourselves. Just make future John do it. Tomorrow's John, he can handle it. No, it's never. If you continue to push it off on, if present John always pushes it off onto future John will never show up. So get started right now. Don't delay on your goals, because nobody reaches their goals and looks back and says, man, I wish I would have waited that weekend. I wish I would have waited till the end of 2022 to start dieting. I don't know why I was in such a hurry to lose this weight. Nobody ever says that. Everybody looks back and says, what was I thinking? I sit back and I think, how did I let it get so bad? How did I get up to 520 pounds? How did I let that happen? But it doesn't matter how I let it happen anymore. I didn't let it happen. Past John let it happen. Present John is fixing all the screw ups of past John. And The biggest thing I'm seeing is that I'm adding so many years to the future of my life. I mean, there is a chance that if I didn't start this diet 23 months ago, that I'm not alive today, guys. Like 520 pounds. I mean, I'm not clear of it yet either. I'm still over 300, but 520, I mean, that's heart attack kind of country there, you know, and nobody would have been surprised. 0 people would have been surprised if I would have keeled over and had a heart attack at 38 years old. They'd have been like, yeah, he was on track to do that. Like, I'm surprised it didn't happen earlier. You see how big he was? See what he was eating? So I'm so happy I made the change and that I found this whole food plant-based diet too. Volume eating is absolutely the way to go. So thank you guys. Angela says, we learn and we make those small changes one meal at a time. Yeah, you bet. Thanks, Angela. You guys all have a great evening. Tomorrow, weigh-in Wednesday. Let's have a great evening, everybody, and we'll see you later.